Hey there, everyone. It's Spidey. Just a heads up, we are having some audio issue with recording number 31, but that's just a heads up. Recording 32 goes back to normal, so we hope that whatever issue 31 had doesn't continue. We do apologize for that. Hope you enjoy the recordings. Peace. Okay. Can you guys tell we're prepared? Okay.
Very prepared. Very, very prepared. How's it going, everyone? Happy Sunday. Slept away my Sunday, but I don't really mind. How is everyone doing?
King.
I'm not doing too bad, and I was just telling you guys about I got a new phone, so I'm just working to set that stuff up. It's a bit of a pain, but it'll be worth it in the end.
What brand? What company, I mean?
It's a Samsung Galaxy.
Smart man. See, this is why he's on the podcast, because he knows.
Yeah.
Dav's like, oh, I have an Apple, sir.
I would love to get a. I'd love to go to Android, but then I remember the hassle of just changing everything over.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
what's fucking me up right now, and it's probably even worse if you're going from iPhone to Android or.
Yeah, it'll be like a one-time change that I have to do, but then I'm lazy.
Do you have a Mac or whatever?
Nah, iPhones have this really unique, well, I say unique, it's not unique. It's just a nice feature where if you get a new one, you literally just put them next to each other on the same Wi-Fi, and then
Yeah.
it does it. It's like magic. And then all of
Yeah,
a
no,
sudden,
Samsung Androids do the same thing. I'm asking if you have a Mac
oh,
computer
I
with your
used
iPhone
to.
yeah, that's what, because if
I
you get
used to
into
have
that
a Mac.
iNetwork thing, it's hard to get out.
Yeah, I used to have a Mac when I was younger, when I was like between 13 and 16, because my parents got it for me.
Uh-huh.
And I had an iPhone, and then I got a gaming laptop at 16 after my high school,
Nice.
and I've never gone back to Mac because I hated it. And then I've only kept iPhone just because I've always had iPhone, but I've also never bought my own phone. I'm the kind of person, as long as the phone's working, I'm not going to buy a new phone. And I had an iPhone 4S when the 7 came out. I was just sitting there with the iPhone 4S with a cracked screen. You could see the fucking speaker at the top and everything. Like it was,
Yeah,
it was
honestly, I'm
completely
pretty
cracked.
similar like that. I had my old phone for almost 5 years. I bought it in November of 2016, and I only just got this new phone because the old one its battery's dying, and it's also a brand that just doesn't get sold in North America. So I needed to. Well, as far as I know, it doesn't. But it's also old. It's yeah, it's time for an upgrade. Plus, the camera quality on this, it's a Galaxy S21. For those who are wondering, it's really fucking good.
Beautiful, yeah, beautiful camera quality.
You see, I
Yeah.
don't use the
What do you?
camera on my phone, so I don't really care about camera quality.
See, I don't either. But it's what if I need it, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I've never in my entire life been like, oh, I need my camera quality.
Yeah, I don't think
Personally.
any of us are that, hashtag selfie type. But it's well, what if
Oh,
we
Spidey
come
is.
across something?
Spidey's got a whole Instagram dedicated to Spidey selfies.
How did he
So
know,
is it just
bro?
It's
hanging
called
upside down,
Spidey
and then he
selfie.
sells
Yeah.
them
Oh yeah,
to
definitely.
the news guys?
Fucking guy. And
Right,
then
Spidey, what have you been up to, man?
I have, if all goes well, I have found a job. I think I've mentioned this already. I should be
Nice,
starting
nice.
relatively soon in well, I'm not gonna say the city and state because yeah, reasons. But yeah, found a job. I'm happy. Everything's looking good. Going back to your iPad and Apple product talk, I've always been poor as fuck to afford that shit. So, I mean, the most I afforded was the AirPods, but that was a gift to my brother and guy and Sam and Apple Watch or whatever. But yeah, never been an Apple person.
I'd never recommend it to anyone really. I'd always recommend because I know how good Android is, and I'd always recommend Android. I feel like the people who are in the Apple sphere is like the people who have been in it for years, and
It's
they've
like
got like their life is kind of
yeah,
like saved on multiple devices. Then I can kind of be like, you know what? Okay, I get it. You're stuck in it.
it's kind of like people who play sports video games. Like they're at that point, they're just playing it because they're so used to and
They're
like
Yeah.
just stuck. They're stuck in it, and it's
even
done.
though
Why
there's
you spend 12 years reading a manga, even though the manga sucks after a certain point? It's well, I've
yeah
already invested all the time in it.
yeah
So yeah, no, I get that. I would always tell if someone's ever says to me, "Oh, what phone should I get?" I always say just look into Android because at least the Android operating system is pretty free and lets you do what you want.
It's right. Apple and Fortnite are battling right now. But anyway, that's not a topic for this podcast.
So the
The
job, you
topic
excited
for
for it?
today is what job?
What job? No, I don't have a Apple. I would never get a job at Apple. Fuck
No,
no.
no, no. I'm saying, are you excited for the job?
Oh, am I? Of course, it's gonna be great. I'll talk about more about it off air, if you will. But yeah, I'm excited. It's a new venture, a new opportunity that I haven't. Well, I had previously taken it as a student, but I didn't really expect to take it as an adult. But I'm excited. I'm happy. Pays well. It's a union job,
I
so
love
Nice.
how in America you've got to be like, oh, it's a union job. It's just like it's such a big
it
deal. And in the
sadly
UK, it's just like,
no, but sadly it kind of is a big deal in
oh, it
the
is. I know, because
because
workers get fucked. But
yeah no because yeah there a lot of Walmart is in a union job. They'll fucking fire your bitch ass if you even recommend you get
can't you be
union.
fired for trying to start a union at
You could
some
be
places?
you could be fired for anything if I'm being honest. It's America, bro.
But what I mean is, like, there are some businesses where, like, any kind of union talk, they're just like, all right, listen, none of that.
Yeah, you actually I well from what from what I know, maybe you're wrong, but you could be fired for that.
That's
Oh, your
just
suggestion that that's nice. Here's your fucking paycheck. Get the fuck out of my face.
that is. Nah, I can't believe that, man. That's so
The funniest thing
stupid.
is, I didn't even know it was a union job until I went to my doctor's. My heart's well. I know some people are vastly disappointed that my heart's doing good. Um, but I went to my
For
doctor.
fuck's sake.
Yeah, they know who they are. Um, but I went to my doctor and I told them about the job, and they're like, "That's a really good job." And I was like, and they were like, "Oh, it's a union job." I was like, "Wait, what?" They're like, "Oh yeah, I have family that does that, and yeah, it's a union job." I was like, "Oh shit." They're like, "Yeah, you're gonna have all kinds of benefits." I was like, "All right, that's good. That's good because I'm, bad hearted and all, so it's good." They're like, "Nah, yeah, you're gonna really love it." And I was like, "All right."
Okay.
So I'm happy. I'm excited. Um, I finally started. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I have an actual desk setup now at my house. So when we record, I don't just use my phone. So I actually have a nice little setup, so I could actually read the chapters while we're discussing it instead of trying to scroll through my phone and disconnect and all that. So yeah, things are looking up for me.
Beautiful,
I'd hear it,
beautiful.
man.
Now on to this week's topics.
Okay, your mic
What the
just
fuck was
went
that?
crazy.
We did. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you plug it back in
Sound like you're
properly.
speaking into a vacuum tube.
Okay. How about now?
Nah, it sounds worse than before. I don't know what you did. Oh god. The way it says I've got a proper setup and then this happens. Oh, having some technical difficulty, folks.
How about now?
Ah, there we go.
That's better.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
don't
all right.
sound like shit.
It was just God reminding me not to get too happy because at fucking moment he'll be like, "Nah, I'm not fucking nah, don't get carried away.
No, it's not happening, man. Heart attack right now.
Nah, don't joke like that. Don't come on."
I'm sorry.
If
That's
I
why he's
haven't had one,
hyperventilating now.
if I hadn't had one, I would have been like, "Yeah, sure." But nah, homie, I've had one. I'm not trying to have a second one.
Man's hyperventilating right now.
No, dude. Oh, speaking of hyperventilating, and I'm sorry we're going on a tangent, guys. It's been a while. We don't have much to talk about because you'll find out in a bit.
Yeah.
But I had gained. I worked out for a little bit, and then for most of July, I just got lazy. I didn't do shit, and then I gained weight, and the weight that I saw was the weight that I was when I got a heart attack. So I was fucking hyperventilating, bro. I had my nitroglycerin next to me holding, which is like, if I have a heart attack, it'll help like reduce some shit. The doctor tells me to take it 3 times, one time every 15 minutes if I feel like I'm experiencing a heart attack. So I was just holding that bottle for dear life for like a week and a half. Obviously, once I saw that weight, I started working out again. But nah, motherfucker, this hyperventilating shit. Nah, people, yeah. So yeah, people, that's your daily reminder to work out and stay active.
and eat
And don't
healthy.
eat like a rhinoceros.
Oh yeah, exactly.
To be
I don't know how,
fair, they're pretty healthy.
they're also extinct.
But you're a human, so you should be eating like a human.
That's yeah. I understood what you meant. Dab didn't. It's fine. It's fine.
I just feel like it was just such a weird.
Yeah, no, I know what he meant, but I was like, I just got to point that out.
So on this week's episode, if you will, we're calling them episodes. We're only talking
Damn,
fairy tale.
No one asked about my week. Oh, I see how it is.
Oh wait, you did tell us about
Oh.
your week.
What did I say?
You introduced us.
I never go first with my week.
Oh my god! You're the new king. I forget about you all the time now. My bad.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's fine.
So I think we do call these episodes. So yeah, that's the accurate title.
I like how King was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Oh boy.
So I'm sorry, Dave. It's because I don't like Apple, and you have an Apple product, so I forgot. I'm sorry.
I respect it.
How was your week, Dave? How was your week? Or your past few weeks?
Other than tiring from work, I picked up a new hobby, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. And there goes your mic again.
No, I put it on mute. I put it on mute.
And yeah, I picked up a new hobby that I've been thoroughly enjoying. Been learning to color manga panels. And it's going along quite well. Getting there, slowly learning. I thought it would be a lot harder, but it was actually quite easy to learn. There's obviously now perfecting it is a little uphill climb.
Mm-hmm.
So work's been tiring, but I've just been doing this basically to unwind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any manga you're coloring in specific, or you just any
no?
panel?
So I'm kind of just doing any panels that come along while I'm reading. I've done 4 so far.
Okay. Okay.
I'll post them.
Is there one that you like the most that you've done so far? Or
Yeah, that third one there is the one I spent the most time on. It's from Goddess Cafe Terrace.
Of course it is. The one you're
Of
always
course it is.
recommending. So you have 2 from
Pokemon Adventures, yeah.
What's the last one?
The last one's from Fryren. Great story that everyone should read. And basically, really powerful elf. If you like D&D, you'll like it because it's set based after they defeat the Demon King. And then she just decides to carry on her adventure as the hero party members slowly die one by one. And she like visits them and reminisces about their time. And then she carries on her journey.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's been what I've been doing, learning a new hobby, learning something to keep myself occupied that isn't Genshin.
Yeah, Genshin. Fucking Genshin.
But yeah.
Okay.
That be what it be.
They look really nice.
Thank you.
I will say that. Because I'm a picky bitch. If it looks like shit. Nalu God knows what I'm talking about. When he painted his manga panels, I said they look like trash because I didn't think they were good.
So I try and use the colors that are their official colors because I'm not a fan of people. I'm not saying it's not that I'm not a fan of people using their own creativity. Because I say, oh yeah, go for it. But try and if there's official colors there, it's kind of how they're meant to be. So I don't know why you wouldn't use those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm happy that you found a new hobby. It seems like everybody, for the 3 of us, the 3 most important people, seems like we've had a positive outlook or positive whatever last few weeks. So that's good.
Life's been hitting us in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah. And King went to get his signature pizza. At this point, he should.
Fucking
At this point, this motherfucker should ask for a sponsorship from any pizza joint.
probably should actually. There's a local one, even though there's probably no one local that listens to it. All right, let's start with Fairy of Eden Zero then.
Well, the better series so far recently.
Yeah, I was talking to another server, actually Black Cat server.
You
to
just called it
someone,
Black Cancer.
no, Black Cans is what I said.
Oh, I thought you said Black Cancer. I was like, whoa there, sir.
Nah, Black Cats.
Sir,
Because there was someone in there, there's someone that did enjoy Fairy Tail, and then they started reading 100 Year Quest, and then they kind of dropped it because they didn't really enjoy it as much, which I completely get. And when I was talking about it to him, I mentioned about my pick with it is that it's like a romance with a set of action. And then he was like, "Oh, can you link me the stuff with the romance part?" So I linked him all those chapters, and he's gonna start reading it again. And then I told him we were talking about Eden Zero, and a few people were saying how it is better, but they couldn't really get into it because it obviously did feel a bit too fairy tale like. Which early on I can,
early on, definitely.
I can get with that, yeah.
But again, like I would tell people, it's Mashima is starting a new series. He is gonna lean into the series that made him a fuck ton of money. So
he's gonna slowly branch away as well because he has to get out of that zone.
Exactly, because when someone reads it, they're gonna think, "Oh, it's fairy tale." If you look at the early chapters, you see the first volume cover. They're like, "Oh, that's kind of like Natsu." Okay, let's see if it's a fairy tale fan. They're like, "Oh, let's see what this is about." Then they're gonna start seeing that it's not exactly like fairy tale; it's slightly different. And then as you progress with the series, you see it gets instantly darker in tone, and the shift on how the villains are portrayed as opposed to one in fairy tale. So I don't.
That's what I said to him. I said, it will take a little bit to get out, but I understand more than anyone else. I've been reading a lot more manga. When someone says it gets better, or it finds itself, you've got to remember that you've got to get to that point. You've still got to suffer first. I'm not saying that Eden Zero early is suffering. It's just that if you're not enjoying it, you've got to sit through that still. And I can completely understand the struggle of that. So I said to him, well, look, it does get better. It does find its own footing. It does break away. Obviously, there will always be the same elements and at some point, but it is overall more well planned. Your mic is gone. It is overall more well planned and more thought out.
Yeah.
So give it a go. But again, you got to get to that point. And for some people, I can understand not wanting to just sit through it. And yeah.
I mean, realistically, they could skip the first 4 chapters.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. Because you skip the first 4 chapters, you're basically skipping like character introductions.
Just the introduction to the first 3 characters.
Yeah, but you need the introduction.
But again, it's I to an extent, sure. But this is a Mashima series. If they've read Fairy Tail, they kind of know what the characters.
Yeah, but still, but then they're like, oh, how do they meet? Because if you start like chapter 5, you've missed the fact that Rebecca went all the way to fucking Rambo, and all of that. You were like, oh, what's all the robot stuff?
Well, I know
it's quite a lot.
Well, I know. What I'm saying is they could skip reading it. They could still like look it up on Google or something.
Yeah, but nah, it's not the same. Not the same.
I mean, if they're not enjoying the first 4 chapters, leaning very heavily to the friends. Remember, there was a whole running gag because a certain group would always translate it friend. Tell me when to stop. Friend.
One more. There we go.
So,
yeah. I mean, oh well. It be what it be. At least now the officials are out, so that's not as big a problem.
People are super cheap.
Yeah, but the officials you can find on any. I mean, the site I use rips officials and posts them. So,
not that we condone that. We
don't condone it. Yeah, don't do that. But I'm just saying, if you are poor, broke as shit, then that option is there.
Support the official release if you can. It's only $1. Or if you have Amazon, since Amazon basically owns everything, they have a monthly subscription service for like $5 where you could get the latest issues or the all the chapters for Eden Zero, Seven Deadly Sins, nine whatever the fucking
Four
sequel's
Nights of
called.
the Apocalypse.
Yeah. There's other series as well, but I mentioned those three because obviously me and you have a connection to
Yeah.
both those. So it's like I said, it's $4, $5 a month, which is the equivalent of paying $4 a month for the manga releases. So still another legal avenue for people to take if they're interested.
There's also the Azuki, the new website that got released last month.
True,
That's
true.
pretty good. I tried it for a little bit. Nice reader, not too bad. The nice thing I do like about it is the overall just layout of the website. It's called Azuki, Azuki. It's $5 a month, and you get like a shit ton of stuff. It's really good. And
Yeah.
it apparently, now don't quote me on this. This is from their website and also from other people talking about it. It's apparently one of the best platforms to support the actual creators of the series because a lot of the money. So that $5 that you pay, 80% of it goes through to the creators. Now, obviously, I
Okay.
don't know of that 80% goes through, say, to Mashima, how much of it, obviously, he's got a team.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, he's also got, publishers and so on. So I don't know exactly how it works, but I've read that about 80% of your $5 goes towards the creators.
Okay.
So, yeah, looking
So
to have a nice
yeah,
website.
there you go. There's you have the Crunchyrolls, you have the Comixology, you have the
Bookwalker.
Azuki, the book walker. For and okay, at least on Reddit, people often asked or have asked, what time do the officials come out? Comixology, Crunchyroll, and the Azuki, if I'm not mistaken, all three of those usually come out at around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that would be like five
Uh,
5 hours from now for you. So I don't know what time that'd be.
yeah, AP said I'd be like around about midnight.
There you go. As and the Bookwalker, since it's a Japanese website, the moment they release in Japan, you're able to buy it in English
I
through
think within an
Bookwalker.
hour, isn't it?
I know, yeah, within an hour or right away, because I've seen people buy it and then within minutes, like, oh look, I have the chapter, and I was like, all right then, didn't know that. It's cool. The more you know, people. Lots of legal ways to watch it or support the series because you want the series to continue. But anyway,
Okay, so let's get into it. So we've got 152, 53, and 54.
yep, yep,
Um,
yep,
so just to recap, we left off. Creed had turned up again.
yes.
Yeah. Now, 152 was the start of the Lyra fight, the whole card situation. What did you think of the fight overall?
Uh, I with Lyra's fight with if I'm I like the
Rebecca
cover. I like the it was a cute little chapter cover. I'll say this.
Yeah,
For 152. Now the
lost
fight,
card.
it was like
I was very bored
it
by
it it,
the
it
fight.
not gonna lie to you, and people are gonna hate me for this. I had more fun in Kana and Natsu's or Kana and who did she face in the filler arc?
Oh, the with the
That Celestial
fucking
Spirit, yeah, the Celestial Spirit
with
that
the
she faced.
fake Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
I can't remember who it was, but yeah, I know what you mean. The fake Yu-Gi-Oh was more fun with the fucking random marshals. The only thing I liked about this, and this was the degenerate side, is obviously, well, you
there
have,
you
but the actual content I
Oh my
found
god, yeah.
very bland. I don't mind Lyra's ether gear, which we'll get into in the next chapter or so. But reading it and seeing how things were going, I was just like, this. Oh, Rebecca won. Oh, she lost. Oh, she won. Oh, she lost. Oh, the entire time I was just like, eh. And then when she used her leap and then she still lost, I was kind of like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, it was kind of telegraph, and then the moment she lost, and then she went back in time and she still lost, it's like, okay, homegirl's cheating. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
So 153, we got that nice. Whoa, your mic, brother. We got that nice color page. Gotta say, that was a nice treat.
Are you talking about the one that? No, of course you're not talking about the one I'm talking about. I thought you were talking about the actual
The
the
chibi one.
chibi. Yeah. Oh, you are talking about
Nah,
the chibi one.
I wasn't.
No, of course you were. You were talking about the other one.
Yes, the other one. But the
Uh,
chibi one was really cute. I like the chibi one a lot.
It reminded me a lot of the one for Fairy Tale, but obviously it's not in chibi format, and it has way more.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Dude, Hermit on a little phone. Just everyone else is like, yeah, the Hermit's like, oh, my phone.
I like how the ship is in the both ships are in the background for both LC and
Mhm.
the Eden Zero.
And Jin's got his tornado, and then Clean is just hanging onto Moscow.
I'm digging the little team chemistry we got.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm Jin in the team, Kleenex in the team, Couchball on the team. I'm digging that little.
Laguna looking over Hermit's shoulder onto the phone.
Nosy motherfucker.
But yeah,
So
I honestly, it's really cute. It's such a nice little. The more members we get, what I actually hope we get from this is if we start getting more and more members, right? They keep this, but just add on to it. So by the end, we've just got a big spread of all the people who have been on our team. Even if someone dies or leaves, like say Couchbro leaves after this arc, she's still there. She was still part of the team at one point. So each time they just keep adding new people on.
oh, that'd be cool.
I'm sure an artist out there will probably end up doing it themselves, but I think that would be really cool.
I don't think Mashima would do that just because Mashima loves drawing a bunch of new panels because
Yeah.
the guy's amazing. But it'd be pretty cool.
Well, even if it's completely new, at least have the same thing where it's just all the characters together.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. I like it. Let's make that happen. I'll hit up Mashima right now.
Oh yeah, drop him a message in it.
Oh, and then of course we saw, and then in the rest of the chapter for 153, we basically, yeah, it's true.
So we learned how she did it, which I think it's cool. But again, if you're thinking it from a combat side of it, your first thought is like, how the fuck is this useless in a fight? How is this useful in a fight? Because it's not in any way, shape, or form. Like, all she's doing is changing a fucking number on a card. Like, I saw. So for me, I don't read the chapters until like the day of the podcast because otherwise I'll just forget everything because I'm a goldfish like that. So the chapters come and I'll have a look at the chat because I don't really mind the spoilers. And I see people for the last 3 weeks it's just been. Is anyone else thinking that Lyra's ether gear is just shit? It's literally just been that the entire time until the next chapter.
Lyra is basically a discounted, cheaper version of Kana.
Yeah, just can't do as much.
That's why I said the discounted. So, like, let's say Kana's a name brand, Lyra's the knockoff of the knockoff of the knockoff. Because it's like, yeah.
I will say, Rebecca impressed me there.
Oh, yo, she was smart. She was smart.
Impressed me there, and her little smug. I've been thinking of maybe coloring that panel. I'm not gonna lie. She looks smug as hell.
She's super smug. She's like, oh, look at this.
Oh, yo, bitch, you got caught. This is what you get. It was really well played by her, and I'm surprised that. So if you look at the crowd, if you scroll down a bit and you look at the crowd, right? She calls her out. The crowd was like, "Oh, that's slow. Play fair and square." I was surprised that even happened. I would have thought the crowd had been like, "Oh, I guess." Then there's the one guy who I was doing exactly what I thought people would expect. Who cares? Just take it off. That had me laughing.
That's Majima drew you. Yeah, Majima drew you.
That's me. Yeah. See, I had a cameo appearance. You can see me right there in my white shirt. But yeah. Now, this is where we actually learn what her ether is. Where she actually starts. She's basically Gambit, bruv.
No, because Gambit's useful. Don't insult Gambit like that ever again.
Fair enough. She's a copy of Gambit and Kana, but worse in every way. But then again, she can change the number on a card. I don't think they can do that.
Oh fucking hell! Oh shit, bro! Yo, bro, the
Like,
Joker card's gonna kill you. The
like,
Joker card.
dude, what if whatever card she throws? Okay, because she makes an obvious statement, right? That she's throwing a certain card. What if, depending on like the suit and the number, it does like more damage, or it's like a new effect? Because I should get into that in a bit. With clean and Jin showing up, that panel was clean. Get it?
No pun intended. Yeah, I know.
That's
First,
such a nice panel.
we got to talk about how Shiki just takes what's his name? Calcium,
Callum,
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 Callum.
Cal-
Yeah,
Callum. He just takes him through the fucking arena. He's like, "All right, fuck it, Rebecca. You don't
we're
need to
leaving.
do anything." She says, "We're out of here. Let's go." Shiki's like, "Yeah, we're dipping. Fuck it." And it's like, but she couldn't leave because of the bomb, but now she can leave. Why? Make it make sense.
She didn't explode the bomb, which I don't get. I think the bomb was a fake, to be honest. That's what I personally think.
Maybe.
As much as Lyra is who she is, I don't think Lyra would actually have a bomb on someone's neck that would explode their head. I don't think she would, because that would take a lot of the fun out of it for her. Lyra is the kind of person that you can tell she likes to have fun and she likes to chase.
Her personality is like a discount brandish.
Yeah, she's not one to, she cheats obviously, but she's not one just to outright win for the sake of, without having any fun about it. Now,
Yeah.
I'm happy to see Jin and Clean fighting together. I don't think we've actually seen them fight together.
Mm.
So this is quite nice, and the panel was really clean. The art's always clean. Now, that was it for that chapter. Because in the next chapter, 154, really nice.
Before we continue, because we get a revelation at the end of 154. But when I first saw this chapter, I noticed how Callum kind of looked like Jin, so I thought there was like a connection there, which was interesting for me because I was like, oh, Mashin was kind of tying them together, and it also makes sense given that Jin was never inherently good. He was more of a mercenary assassin.
Yeah.
And obviously in 154 we end up learning that there is a connection. But I kind of like how Shiki's just taking. I like how Shiki acknowledged Jin, and Jin was like, "Ship's fine. We took out most of the drones. They'll be able to be. It'll be fine." And then Rebecca and Shiki just dip and do their thing. So I like you said, this little dynamic that we're having with the group. I'm liking it because they're not necessarily overly dependent on one another, but they trust each other enough to where it's like, all right, you could handle your thing, I could handle my thing. All right, let's split up, let's do our thing, let's go. Which is, I feel like, something you couldn't really think, well, you couldn't see happening in Fairy Tale because they were so overly dependent on Natsu and Urza, especially early on, well, later on. Obviously, Gildarts, but Gildarts is obviously the super exception because he was considered the strongest. So I like this variation that we have from the actual Fairy Tale series.
Yeah, it's nice to have that little change.
Mhm.
And I hope that Mashima keeps it. I hope he doesn't kind of get lazy and resort and fall into the
Yeah,
trope he had before. I don't think he will, but you never know. He's planning it out, so that's where my faith comes in that he won't.
yeah, he's planning out a lot. You could tell. There's a because there's always like a connection to a previous thing or a previous villain, if you will. So that's kind of good. Now, 154. What did you think of it?
The cover page is really nice. It's quite cute. I'm liking a lot of the cover pages right now. Now the name Skymech Ninjutsu gave me a bit of a chuckle to the Naruto. Now, obviously, the first panel was excellent.
You loved it, of course. Makes sense.
Now, I love seeing the scenes with Shiki effectively flying. I think it's. I've said this before. I think it's a really creative way that Mashima has brought this idea of gravity. He's basically just falling with style.
Settle down, settle down. We might be sued by Disney.
True. Oh shit. Now, Happy Pino coming, which is really cool. I always love seeing Rebecca and Happy doing their thing. This is the one thing. I love Lucy, but this is the one thing that kind of puts Rebecca a little bit above Lucy for me. Is it's 150 chapters in, right? Rebecca was always able to do something right away.
Yeah.
From the get go. That's the only thing that's put Rebecca above Lucy for me.
Yeah.
Lucy at the end of Fairy Tail, where she is now, is amazing development. She is very what's the word? Independent and can be.
Yeah.
Rebecca's been like that since the get go, which is what I've loved.
I would agree. I would argue that up until Tenro, because in Tenro she was actually had to be on her own because she was in tied with Natsu, and
She was
even
forced
when
to. Yeah.
up until Tenro, she was very much a damsel in distress and very overly dependent on Natsu as a character, and just for anything. I mean, there were some few exceptions, like when she summoned the Celestial Spirit King to free Loki and stuff like that. But for the overwhelming majority portion of the main series up until Tenro, she was very dependent on Natsu. Whereas Rebecca was like, nah, motherfucker, I got 2 guns. I got my cat who's turned into these 2 guns. I'm gonna kill everything, shoot everything.
I think the difference between the two is just the confidence, because Lucy always had the potential to do it. She just was never confident enough in her abilities. Now that she is, I mean, this Lucy's out here summoning all the fucking spirits, mixing star dresses and shit, like taking on fucking Broly 1-on-1
and winning.
You know? So her confidence is there, and that's something that Rebecca's had from the start. I still don't know out of the two which one I completely prefer. I prefer Rebecca's look somewhat more, even though then there are distinct differences. But I prefer Rebecca's look. I think Lucy's still above her overall because of the amount of development we've had, which is unfair to Rebecca because it's still a young series. But again, it is how it is. But I think Rebecca, if he treats her like Lucy, Rebecca will get a lot of development, and I think she'll end up having more.
No. If Mashima treats Rebecca like Yuta treats Lucy.
Yes, actually, yeah.
Because
well, Mashima still does a storyboard for.
He said this is a debate for another day, but he says he does it. But I really think he trusts Yuta enough to just do your thing, just do it. Go ahead, because he's released some tweets where he's talked about, or Yuta did a thing, and he's like, oh yeah, this was a great development.
Either way, whichever one was doing it, I think they're doing Lucy a lot of justice right now, and I think Rebecca will reach that point. That point of development. I think Rebecca is very well developed already, but I think by the time the series comes to its near its end, I think Rebecca will honestly be a very, very well made character overall. And I'm hoping Shiki as well. I'm hoping Shiki doesn't get a Natsu treatment where I'm not gonna say Natsu doesn't have development, because he does in the small sense, but it's more like battle prowess. I want Shiki to get a development where he's actually not an idiot.
I feel like
Shiki's only smart in a fight, same way Natsu was, and I hope Shiki doesn't stay like that.
For me, I feel like with Fairy Tail, Mashima just took the super slow snail pace to develop Natsu. There was development every now and then.
It came in bursts. It was never consistent.
Yeah,
it wasn't like gradual.
And that's one of the reasons I feel like 100 Years Quest is superior, because it shows character development for each of the main cast, and it's not, oh yeah, we kind of forgot about this, so we're gonna reset them back to how they were. It's like, no, they stay consistent. And I feel like with Shiki, his development hasn't been as slow, and for him it kind of makes sense, the naivety, because like he's never had any kind of interaction with anything
other than robots.
Yeah, and then robots you can't really interact because they're like monotone in nature, and realistically, they all treated him the same. So
and he's already had a little bit of development with Shura, because the entire time up now, she could always try and befriend everyone. With Shura, during the fight, Shura was like, "Oh no, we're the same, blah 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 blah. We should be friends." Shiki's just straight up was like, "No, fuck you, bro." So he kind of threw away his little naivety and maturity side to that, and was just like, you know what? Nah, fuck, no. You know what? Right?
Like,
I'm changing. I'm developing myself. If Mashima won't do, I'm doing it for myself. I'm gonna fuck you up. So He's
That,
had a little bit here and there. I will admit this is my own fault. I have a tendency to focus on female characters in development wise, because that's what I prefer to read about.
obviously,
So
yeah.
I kind of forget and kind of ignore most of male characters' development unless it's like really blatantly obvious. Like for example, Loxus or Gagio. But everyone else's development, I'm just like, they had development. I'm like, what? And then when someone points it all out, I'm like, oh yeah. Guess I
Yeah,
just
you're right.
didn't care enough.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping she could get some strong development because I would like, because if Sheik and Rebecca end up as that ship, as much as I hate ships, I don't want it to be a Nala situation where I have to now spend the next 6 years listening to people going, Rebecca and Shiki, get together already. I don't know. I'm sick of hearing about Nali. He lot shut the fuck up. Just wait. Patient.
See, yeah, but I feel like Mashima kind of shot himself in the foot there because
Oh, he did.
he
It's
had
just
several.
annoying for the
Yeah,
fans. Like the
eh,
fans just need to be fucking
yeah.
patient. Just shut up and stop crying about it.
No,
So I'm
yeah,
hoping
yeah.
Rebecca and Shiki don't have that situation because I don't want to hear that
Oh,
for another fucking however long. Because Masha said this might go longer than Fairy Tail. I don't want to fucking hear that for however many years it takes.
he did say he was gonna develop the romance a lot better than he did in Fairy Tail
Well, let's fucking hope.
before the series started, if I'm not mistaken.
So full circle back to. So it's nice to see Rebecca happy with it. You're happy. Let's turn. Boom. Bam.
Yeah.
Really nice little fight now.
And of course, like the panel of her shooting. Yeah, I know. And then
Oh, that
says,
was great.
I think we got them all. I'm glad you're happy. I mean, I'm glad you're okay, too happy. And then we move on to your favorite pairing of all time, Creed and Hamura.
No, let's skip that. Pretend that doesn't happen.
I don't get understand people's fixation with this stupid pairing.
I don't know.
Like, I hope it's a gag because I hope they don't realistically expect some nobody to get the treatment. It's like saying Ichiya actually ended up with Urza. That
But he
was in
did.
there. No, he didn't end up with Urza. He ended up with someone better. And I just realized that they're all split up. We got Weiss by himself, Hamura
Yeah.
by herself. Creed is following because he's a simp. He's a simp.
To be fair, the poor guy is just there doing his job.
No, is he though?
Yeah.
Is he though? He was kind of creeping on Amara.
No. But in this situation right now, right? Okay, let's be a bit fair to. I don't like it, but let's be a bit fair to him, right? In this situation right now, he didn't know Homura was going to be there, or as far as we know, he doesn't know. He didn't know that. So
Fair.
now he's there, and he is right in saying that. Look, we're here for both for the same thing. So realistically, working together is better.
Yeah, but they're not. But they're not allies.
Oh no! I'm not saying that they should be. I'm just saying what he's saying isn't unfair.
I mean, he's still wrong though, because in Forest, they were clearly enemies. So
Oh no, definitely. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Why would she want to team up with him? Why would he even offer that unless he's a simp?
Oh no. Fair enough, but you can't say because if any other group had done that, if anyone else, if what's his name, Justice came out of nowhere, all right, and saw Shiki,
I hope he's dead.
So do I. But those two, no one, people wouldn't have the same reaction. He would
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get it. But for me, it's like, okay, Creed, you see Hamura, you're literally.
Oh yeah, he starts thinking about it with his dick straight away.
Yeah, and it's like, homie. And then he's like, "Oh, you know what? We could team up." Like, why would she team up with somebody who literally imprisoned her?
Now, I do feel sorry though because she was like, "Don't follow me," and he's like, "I'm not. I'm going in that direction anyway. This is awkward. Like, what do I do? Just wait."
I mean, different roads lead to the same castle, so he doesn't have to go
I don't think it does in this place.
I mean, if he's strong enough, he could just make his own way, his own path.
Okay, we know he ain't strong, so.
Okay, so yeah, realistically, he's not ending.
Yeah. So now with the fight, now it's nice seeing these two together. Like I said, now this is where with Lyra, she uses 3 of a kind. All right, it's 3 sevens, all different suits. I wonder if that has some kind of effect on. I'm gonna say not on what it actually does, but on damage wise. You know how much damage it does, because obviously a little bit later on we see her throw cards and it goes boom. So obviously she can kind of make the cards do whatever she wants. Is she controlling the cards specifically, and she can make any cards do anything, or do each card have like their own properties? That's what I want to learn.
Discount Kana, bro. Just discount
I
Kana.
hope each card has its own properties. I think that would be more fun and more limiting in a way. So if she is able to control that and fight, even though there is that limit, it would make her a much better character, as opposed to her just having a deck of cards and going, "Ha, this one goes boom. Ha, this one freezes." At least,
I get your optimism and your hope, but she's literally discount Kana.
yeah. But
Kana
see,
throws cards. There's specific cards she
yeah, but
throws.
stop comparing it to Fairy Tail. Let's just don't do that. Just stop comparing it to Fairy Tail. Just pretend Fairy Tail doesn't exist for this.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'd still say she's just a card thrower, and her cards, regardless of the ability, they still wouldn't do much.
This is but that's what I'm hoping, that it doesn't end up like that. I'm hoping that each card has its own like unique factor to it.
We saw her in her battle with. Okay, you said not to compare to Fairy Tail. Okay, I won't do that. But we saw her in her battle with Rebecca. In her battle with Rebecca, the only thing her cards could do is change the number.
Well,
right?
that was her changing the numbers.
No, yeah, her ether gear was changing the number.
Yeah, but now would that not be classed as her manipulating the what's the word? The actual card itself. She's actually manipulating so if she could change the number on it, there's nothing to say that she couldn't make each card have its own unique attribute to it. For example, maybe the hearts are fire, spades might be ice, and so on.
I don't think so, because her at this point it's just visual manipulation. She's just So unless she's able to get some new ether gear, where it's like, haha, we don't just switch the card number.
She throws later on. She throws cards, and they're flame cards, and they go boom.
No, yeah, but it's like, I don't know. I can't. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a well written villain.
This was one of the OCs, wasn't it?
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. So okay, I guess we have to wait for the rest of the fight, because later on it goes into what's his name, Jin's backstory and how he met this dude Callum, because they know each other.
So
Skymek Dojo.
Sorry. So quickly, in chapter 47, 147, I guess it stated that she has an ether gear that involves the manipulation of playing cards. So I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait. I'm sure next chapter we'll find out more. Next chapter, I think, is when we'll find out everything, because obviously the fight will continue.
Yeah. Hopefully it's well done. But
I think it will be. I think it's a cool concept. I've always liked the idea of card fighters, I'm going to call them, Yu-Gi-Oh boys. It's just a case of if it's done right and not just, throw card. Boom.
We'll see. I hope you're right. Given what we've seen so far, I don't have any sense of hope that'll happen, but who knows?
What do you think about the little backstory we got for Jin and Callum? I think it's very cliche. I liked it though.
Yeah.
I think it was very cliche, but I did like it. Callum, they were younger, everyone was bullying Callum, like, don't worry about him. You and me can spot a fan. And now they're, it's very, very black and white. It's, we were friends, and now we're enemies. It is how it is. And they both accepted it.
It says and I like how he says how Callum basically tells him, you could never beat me in a fight before. What makes you think you could beat me now?
So that, to me, I think Jin's gonna win just because he said that. If Shonen has taught me anything, the one that brags is the one that loses.
Oh no, absolutely. I
expect Jin to kick the shit out of this guy. However, That mist power, man started fucking turning into mist.
That's hilarious.
That was pretty fucking. Man's getting Thanos right now. Literally, he's getting Thanos. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared for Jin here. I genuinely, I feel like the way Eden Zero has been, I feel like Jin is the type of character that could end up dying in the series, and Clean surviving and Clean having a little bit of a traumatic development.
I don't think Mashima would do that.
I don't think so, but I think it would be not a bad call. But I'm not a writer, so
Well, because the thing he's done, at the least, is the Shining Stars are basically like family, right? And while they've been injured, they've never really been mortally wounded, even though they're androids and now they can't be mortally wounded. You get me?
yeah,
And I feel like he's already given them enough hell with their backstory. Whereas I feel like it would seem a bit like overkill, if you will, right? Because we already saw the backstory of Clean, where she literally saw her brother tortured, mutilated, and dismembered, and then re-put together as an android. And we saw that Jin was literally experiencing that pain and all that, and then their little growth and being a part of the team. I feel like if Mashima were to be like, "Yeah, this guy's gonna be brutally murdered," I feel like it'd just be overkill. And I don't know. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't know how I feel about that.
that's fair. Now, obviously, next chapter I think next chapter what it's going to be for me. It's going to be somehow they're going to negate what's happening to Jin.
Okay.
And then we're going to get Clean versus Lyra. And then the one after that will be Jin versus Callum. That's what I'm hoping for, because I'd like to see the fights just focused. Or
Have
even if
they
the fights go together, like a 2-on-2, an actual 2-on-2 rather than 2-1v1s.
have they I'm sorry, have they shown either have they shown Clean's ether gear? Like her
Yeah,
ether no.
yeah.
What's the
She's
form
wind as
that
well.
no the form
Overdrive.
oh yeah, have they shown
No.
their overdrive?
No.
They showed Jin's overdrive though, right?
Jin's overdrive we've seen. We haven't
Okay.
seen Clean's. I think Clean will get Clean's next chapter, I think. Because
Oh
you'll
no,
see
yeah,
her
we
brother.
did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her brother's gonna she'll be like, oh no, my brother, Clean, She's gonna turn from Kleenex to fucking some other tissue brand.
White piece.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
She's gonna become from tissue to baby wipes, fam.
she's definitely getting an overdrive within the next two chapters. And I'm surprised that Jin didn't use overdrive right off the bat.
I don't know if people can turn overdrive on and off.
Yeah, that's what thing I was gonna say. It's like it's kind of weird that so many people can't turn. Majority of them don't know how to use their overdrive right away. I guess it's very. It's I always thought it was like a Super Saiyan form, where like you
Yeah,
just
once you've learned it, you kind of just go
yeah
back and forth. But I actually think it's a very akin to the you get the form when you need it, not when you want it, kind of thing. The same way you first get Super Saiyan is it comes with a need, not with a want. And I have a feeling that's the way Overdrive is going to work. I, I I like and I don't like it because if you do that, in my mind, it creates this idea where Overdrive would never be there until they need it, which means they're just going to be able to ask pull a win. But at the same time, if it is like that, it kind of keeps it special and unique, so we don't see it every single chapter, every single fight, and be like, oh, they're going to go Overdrive. Oh, yeah, there it is. So I don't know which I prefer.
yeah. I don't either. It's like a fucked if you do, fucked if you don't type of thing for Mashima right there.
Yep. But other than that, I'd say those last two chapters they progressively got better. I enjoyed 154 quite a bit. So overall, I'd give those three chapters probably a 7.5, 8 out of 10. What about you?
Okay, so for 152, I'd probably give it like a 4 or 5. 153, I'd probably give it a 6 or a 7. And then 154, I really enjoyed. Well, not really enjoyed, but I did enjoy it more than the others, so I'd give it like a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just hoping, personally, I'm getting a little bit bored of this arc. I'm not bored of the story. I'm just bored of the arc because I feel like there's not. It's not a bad thing, but I feel like there's too much going on because we've got these lot fighting these lot, then you've got the Justice lot, then you've got the other part of Eden's crew just trying to walk around and get out, and then you got the Stars doing their own thing. There's just so much going on. I don't know if I'm bored because I'm overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that's going on. I'm trying to remember all of it, or if I'm genuinely like kind of just want to move on.
My issue with the arc is that some of these bad guys are forgettable and not as good.
Which makes them their fight forgettable.
Yeah, because
I makes the character they fought forgettable, and you're like,
yeah.
oh,
and I know I did this in this episode of us recording. I've done it more than in previous episodes, but like the comparison of Fairy Tail is just so blatantly obvious for me, especially with Lyra, that it just doesn't make the fight or her character any.
So it doesn't feel new.
Yeah, because I was like, if I want to,
maybe it's just hit a fever pitch for you, and you can no longer really take it.
Shut the fuck up. What is tiny? No, I'm just kidding.
I think that's a pretty accurate representation of what you said, though.
Maybe no, yeah, you're right. I don't know if a character is introduced and they're the exact same as a character from a previous series of the author. I can't even say of the author, but done in a poor fashion. It's like, just get him all, just have him defeated.
I wouldn't say Lyra's a poor character. I would just say she's just not as good, which to me doesn't make a character bad, if you know what I mean.
Well, for me, poor doesn't mean it's bad. It just means like there's a better version that we've already seen within the constructs of the author's works.
Or even in a different author's works.
Yeah. So for me, poor doesn't mean, oh, you're instantly trash. It just means like you're there. You do the thing, but it's like,
Yeah, no, that's fair. Okay, yeah, no, I can get with that.
It's okay if people are gonna read this portion of it and call me a Eden Zero hater. Then they're gonna hear my rant on Fairy Tail, and they're gonna call me a Fairy Tail hater. It's fine. Circle life.
Let's move on to
That's
Fairy
just
Tail,
how
then.
life on the internet goes.
Pretty much. So, 100-Year Quest, chapter 87, An Unsightly World. I like the cover, but I don't know if you guys will agree with me here. The cover is nice, but I feel like this is the messiest cover in terms of the style. It feels a little bit rushed. If you compare it to the other ones.
You know what? Honestly, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I actually agree with you because, like, it's just the lines seem very sketchy. Like, not like weird, not like it's weird sketchy, but like literal sketches.
Like it was never finally finished. Like it wasn't completely refined.
Yeah, like they didn't go through the full inking process on like Photoshop or whatever.
That's just kind of how I feel. It's still a very nice one.
Of course, you say it's a nice one. This describes the cover for the people who don't.
Two very lovely ladies, all right, diving for a flag with mirror in the back.
That's all. You're not going to describe anything else.
I don't see anything else on it. I see it as two innocent, lovely ladies diving for a flag in a summer shining sweat. The summer will never end. That's all I see. They are very happy. Mira's there saying, "Whoa, go guys!" That's all I see. I don't know what you degenerates see.
I feel like the reason
I wouldn't mind if summer never ended. Well, I'd mind.
All right, Phineas and Ferb, calm down.
Actually, I've never seen that show, so I don't know if I don't get the reference.
You're missing out. The finale was the best thing ever written. The finale was fucking genius.
The ultimate. If we want to talk about Creed, is channeling his inner. What's the girl's name? The girl's
Isabel.
name. Creed is channeling his inner Isabel.
Man just appearing out of nowhere. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, we're going on a roller coaster. Can I join? No.
But going back on the cover, I feel like the reason we feel that way is because it's something completely different than we've actually seen from you from Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest in terms of the cover. Most of the time, they're very small, and it's actually something I've noticed too. Is if you look at the chapter cover for 186, I don't know if it's Yudo or Mashima, but they started doing the long spread covers. Watch, let me send it to you.
I don't know. Just this one just doesn't
Six
feel like it
was
was finished.
186 was Edelus, right?
No,
No,
it
you
was
meant
180.
86, not 18.
Oh, okay.
No, no. Look at the chat. These are the
Yeah, I
last two.
see it.
These are the last two covers for Fairy Tail 100 Years. Really get, which is like that little standard square with like.
Yeah, but I feel like we're polished. It just feels like 87. They kind of did everything they need to do, and the final touches of in the final bit of shade touch. It feels like they've just missed the last final step. Missed some because it just feels like the cover's not completely finished to me. It might just be my eyes. It might just be that.
That has to do with
What
the
reason is that?
process. I on the chat. You see, I made a template for the 100 Years Quest. Nice, very nicely done and everything, and I can't use it. I made the template for nothing. That's why I don't like the cover. The last 2 weeks I haven't been able to use it, and it's like, okay, well, last month because it's every 2 weeks.
Can you fix this?
Fix what?
I'm circling it now. On the one, there's like, it's like it's missing.
Oh no, that's how it is on the official.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
I thought I was going crazy for a second.
I thought it was scan quality for a sec.
No, that's from the official releases.
Okay, fair enough.
But not yet.
Official.
So yeah, it pisses me off because I'm not able to use that thing. I was like, what the fuck did I work on this for? Wasted a whole 10 minutes working on this bullshit for what? But yeah, that's the only reason I don't like the cover. It's a nice cover, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, so this chapter. Who wants to go first
Go on, King.
with their raid?
Yeah, sure. I'll be honest. I don't actually have like a whole lot to say about it. It just, I don't know. Maybe it's almost like the cover is the chapter in a nutshell. It felt very wishy-washy. It's like the last chapter ends off with whatever, Natsu and Happy rushing away, and then they get to the place where they're supposed to go, and they're like, "Oh, she's not here. Let's just go back." Like, what was that about? Like, to my understanding, Yuda and Mishima are probably, planning this out pretty well. Generally, it seems to be that case. This just felt very random. And, hey, like that whole thing about face and hands or whatever, it seems like it wasn't just a throwaway comparison line Wendy made. It is like somewhat relevant. So I thought that part was kind of cool. I agree. I think we mentioned this earlier on in the podcast, that whole thing where like the faces at the bottom of the world or whatever, they looked like I don't know, some weird ass One Punch Man thing. That was kind of creepy. I like seeing Virgo's tunnel digging being useful because I don't think it's ever done anything other than just be like a random whack-a-mole type of thing. So that was amusing, I guess. But yeah, no. Otherwise, I don't know. I didn't really care for this chapter, to be honest.
Oh my god, I fucking forgot about the digging of the tunnel. By the way, I can totally see your underwear.
Dude, that was funny. And then Virgo's like, "Oh dear."
Yeah.
And
Oh
then
no.
and then Lucy gets mad at Natsu, and then Gray's over here looking at Lucy's underwear too. Oh, this is hilarious. Fucking hilarious.
But anyways, what did you guys think?
Def.
I liked it, but I didn't care about it, and I'm hoping next chapter will redeem it.
It probably won't. That's your entire.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I honestly don't.
Oh shit, that's fucking hilarious. I will say I liked the different weird design of this creature that is making the hands. Very interesting, very different. So I like
Yeah, we
that.
don't really see things like this in Mishima's series.
So yeah, I'm digging that. Um, other than that, I don't really care. I am Altaface, the source of magical power in this unsightly world. So does that mean once they destroy it, the magical power is gone?
We know it's not going to be that simple. It's going to be something whack that they bring out.
Um, I did like, I did like page 10. Can I even? Oh, I can't because it's not. Give me a second. I did like page 10, like I said.
One with the huddle, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing I liked.
Mhm.
Because I get very nostalgic, right? It's Team Natsu. They're working together. They're gonna get shit
If
done.
you look at this huddle, wouldn't you think like doesn't Dav's comment about the chapter cover make more sense when you look at the quality of this?
It looks the same to me, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe
I
my
don't know, man.
eyesight is shit. If maybe my eyesight is shit, I don't know. Um, or maybe I just seen these things so fucking much every time I'm uploading and all that. But I didn't. I do see what you mean a little bit because there's a lot of fucking sand, and I feel like that's what makes it seem more um lazy, if you will. But for me, they kind of look the same. Um, but yeah, I don't give a fuck about this chapter because I didn't even read it. I saw the cover page, I saw the Team Natsu huddle, and I was like, cool, cool, cool. Let's just
Mm.
release this and go. So, so yeah. Anything else to add for this chapter?
No.
Not for me.
Um. All right, we could. Okay, that's okay. Obviously, this shit ended too fast for us. Um. How soon do you want this arc to end? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how soon do you want it to end? 10 being by next chapter.
Oh, I mean, I think it would actually be for the worse if it ended next chapter. So I don't want that.
No, I
But
meant
what I
like
would,
in the sense of hurrying, like hurry up and finish already.
I
You
mean,
get
I
me?
do feel like it's dragged on at certain points, and I just don't really care about this hand stuff. So I'm just gonna say, give it like 6 or 7 more chapters. Like, get rid of this hand thing by the next chapter, the next one after that at the latest. Deal with the resolution of Celine and Suzaku, and then just preferably leave this world and deal with like Token, whatever else afterwards.
Okay. Daft, how many
Um,
chapters before this arc ends for you? Ideally,
3.
3. How would you resolve it?
Okay, they got to deal with the hands. I feel
Okay.
like see they got to fight Black Sperm from fucking One Punch Man. They got to deal with him first. I feel like they'll have. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like it's just. I'm just bored of the arc. Like I'm actually bored. Like, I'm genuinely every chapter I read, I'm just like,
I feel you.
next chapter, next chapter, next chapter. Like every now and then, a fun thing happens, like Lucy versus Broly. That was cool. I love that. Okay, next chapter. Oh, next chapter. Gray did something cool for once. Okay, next chapter. I don't know. Like, yeah, I would like it to be resolved as soon as possible. Me saying 3 is just me being hurry the fuck up, but I don't know. Probably maybe by 100 at the latest. Because
What the
no.
fuck?
I'm saying at the latest. That if it gets to that point, then this is gonna piss me off.
Pause.
90 to 95.
13 That's 13 chapters. That's
Yeah.
2 weeks each. That's 26 weeks, which is half a fucking year more. Are you
Okay,
out of
older one was like a year long, so
Yeah, Aldron was enjoyable though.
debatable.
You're
Debatable.
gonna tell me you enjoy this arc more than Aldron.
They're both shit. They're both
That's
air.
You're not
They're
answering the
both
question.
air.
You're not answering the question. Which one did you enjoy more? Which one do you enjoy more?
Okay, I enjoyed older one a bit more,
Thank you. That's
like a little bit, but I
no
wouldn't want to sit through that again. I wouldn't want to experience that again.
The problem with Aldron was that some of the weeks it had filler chapters, like the fairy nail bullshit and all that. And I get it; it's not filler in the sense and for the romance aspect of it, but it is filler for the actual fucking quest that they're on. With this one, I just, it's just, it feels like a chore to read. Especially, I enjoyed all of the Edolas aspect of it because I loved seeing how Natsu interacted with his child, non-child. I loved how Gray interacted with his child, non-child. I like some of the chemistry and interactions between the characters. But then we come back, and then the whole Suzuka being introduced, and remember, he laughed at the word boob or some shit? Or naked. Naked. He laughed at naked. It's just being a chore to read.
This is what I mean. I wanted to resolve ASAP, but I don't fucking know what's gonna happen. And I wanted to resolve it in like 3 chapters, but we all know that's not gonna happen. So
It's okay. It's gonna get axed. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, people. I'm kidding.
okay, now people are about to fucking come for you.
Whatever, man. It's all good.
Oh, you say that.
You say that after.
You don't see me online for the next 2 weeks.
With this fandom, fucking hell, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I might actually drop it. I probably will drop it. In terms
Well,
of
you
reading
can't
it.
drop it because
In terms of reading it. In terms of reading it, asshole. I will still upload. It'll still be uploaded and released, but I'll probably not. Yeah, I probably will drop it.
Just do what I do. Just read it like
I didn't
an
read it
hour
this week.
before. No, but just read it an hour before the podcast, just for the sake of talking about it, and then just forget about it.
See,
I don't
that's
even remember what happened last week or last chapter.
Something about Celine's son and Suzuka or some shit. Actually, no, it told us that Suzuka was a weak bitch. He didn't even kill the dragon. His master did.
Oh yeah. There we go. Well, there we go. That's one
We
good
talked
thing.
about that in the last one. It's like how many fucking dragons has this guild master slain then? And also like how many dragons could still be around Earthland because these guys can't be out of their 20s.
I'm more interested and I'm excited for Diablos versus Fairy Tail. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Or just for the next drag. I don't know. I'm just.
I kind of actually will say I want to see like like a guild war type thing, not just like the Team Natsu battling Diablos, but like multiple Fairy Tail members getting in on that shit. Like bring Gagio, bring Laxus, bring Mira Jane, and whoever.
Like everyone
else.
having their own
Mira
little fight.
Jane is useless. Why would we want
Yeah.
Mira Jane?
No, but she's useless. But now let's give her a chance to not be useless.
No. Fuck that. Fuck. We had enough of her dumb, useless shit.
I'm just I don't care. I'm spitballing names.
No,
I want to see shit
I
down.
You're like, sir. You
Dude. Give me more Lizana with Natsu so I can see people fucking cry.
I would love that. I would love that.
I want to see more people fucking cry.
No, Lizana with Natsu and Happy talking about how much he likes her. Oh,
They're stopping my knowledge.
going to the like guild wars type of thing. I actually think it's gonna be Diablos versus the Dragon Slayers of Ishkar or Ishkal.
Kind of like the Slayers versus Acnologia.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be the 7 versus the Dragon
5, 6.
No, there's 7.
I don't know who else is in their guild.
Oh no, I don't know their guild, but I'm talking about in Ishkal. We have.
No, that's what I'm saying. Versus Diablos, which is like what 5 or 6 of them.
We don't know about Diablos is my thing. Like there could be other guild members. They just because like when we've seen like flashes to their guild, we didn't initially.
We've only seen a lot that we've met.
In the background.
Yeah, true. Because then Suzaku came later.
Yeah.
So
It's like,
that
what's up with the master too? What's his deal?
He's just fucking munching, bro. He's literally me with chicken.
Mm.
That's literally what he is, and it's great.
I mean, and that would be kind of cool though if you think about it, because it'd be Dragon Slayer versus Dragon Slayer, the first gen, the third gen, the second gen versus the fifth gen. So, and then we get out of nowhere, we just see Agnologia come back and be like, "Guess
Oh
who's
god,
back,
please no.
bitch?"
And then everyone just like, oh shit, fuck this guy.
Yeah, just fucking wait. There's gonna be like a fucking Ellen tier version of Acnologia
No,
next.
no,
Oh, whoa! Mashima listens to this podcast. Let's not give him ideas.
and then no, the best part is you're gonna see Ichiya in the background making out with Anna and be like, "It's time," and just
And then Agnologia is gonna appear, and then Ichi is gonna do his fucking signature pose, and he's gonna be staring at Agnologia, and Agnologia is gonna shit himself. Like, oh no, you know what? I was never here.
he's like, "You know what? I'm sorry."
Oh shit! I think I have a meme like that. Give me a sec.
Or no, what it will actually be, right? It will have the fucking Elente Acnologia, right?
Oh,
But the Elente Acnologia will be our Ichia, right? And then our Ichia will be their, our Acnologia will be their fucking Ichia.
that'd be great. Yeah, we need more Ichiya. If we need, if there's one character we need in 100 Years Quest, it is Ichiya. All right, he single-handedly saved Fairy Tail multiple times.
See,
He
I
saved-
don't care for Ichia as a character, but he is comedic relief for
Mhm.
me. And I'm just like, at this moment, I don't really care what the fuck happens because everything, just give me something to make it.
That'd be
more
great.
stale.
Can you imagine? Celine opens a portal, and then it's Suzaku, Celine, and they just see Chia. It's just putting
Parfu.
perfume. Man,
Dude, I think he would be enough to fucking scare both of them to being good. It's like, we promise to behave
No.
if you never fucking touch us ever again.
you know the Dragon Slayers have heard the story of Ichiya just ramming the fuck out of Acnologia through that fucking dimension portal. You know they heard that story. They had to have heard that story.
I mean,
Let's
they
see
definitely
here.
had him ramming something.
What the fuck?
Bro, come on, bro. Be respectful towards Anna.
Anyways, like this Attack on Titan meme was what I was thinking for Ichiya Acnologia when you guys were talking about that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that's basically it. And anything abnormal to happen, I wouldn't mind because I am fucking bored.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing, which is just having the chapters out, not reading it, looking at the pretty pictures, seeing ones I like, and then talking about it in the podcast. Because it's so boring.
Unless something amazing happens, or something like, yo, what the fuck happens?
Like naked Ichiya, then he'll read the chapter in full detail, then he'll
That's
come
what
back to the
fucking
podcast to talk
That's
about
what
it.
Spidey's gonna be doing. Spidey's gonna
Yeah.
be fucking. Spidey's got a boner for each year, bro.
Bro, Ichiya is the greatest character Mashima has ever made. He's literally a self-insert of Mashima, which makes it fucking hilarious. So, y'all just hating on Ichiya.
I'm eating. That's fine.
You're eating his meat. That's I
No,
respect that.
nah.
All right,
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chief. My name's not Anna.
And yeah, you're right. I still can't believe he landed Anna though. He landed a Harphilia without even fucking trying. That's when you know you're a goat, bro. But that's enough of making fun of 100 Years Quest for a bit.
Just to reiterate, guys, we don't actually hate the series. We actually thoroughly love the series. It's just, it's not. It's for me. It's just personally too much of a romance with a side of action, and then all the stuff that is happening action-wise is like, nothing is exciting for me. The most exciting thing recently is Lucy versus Brody because Lucy finally got like her own full-on fight panel when she chapter and she went ham. Everything else, Gray's fight was somewhat alright. He actually wasn't shit. I liked his fight, and he uses Demon Slayer powers. But everything else so far has just been everything from when they were turned into fucking the snake and shit onwards has just been air for me.
Oh, that's right. That shit happened recently. What the fuck? Oh, that's when
Yeah.
Aquarius appeared.
Yeah, everything since then has just been air for me. So
King, do you have anything like that you want to say?
Closing thoughts? No, not particularly. Like I said, I just want to finish this arc up within the next 6 or 7 chapters.
All right, cool. And like, I guess we're justifying what do we think. I love 100 Years Quest more than the main series. Just recently, it's been boring as fuck. So, yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat and say it's great because I don't do that. So,
if you want to
anyway,
read a great series, just go read Fire Emblem. There we go.
you want to read a great series? Read Goblin Slayer. Actually, no, I lied. Well, no, I didn't like because it's a great series. But Dad, what's the name? What's the full name? Rascal something, whatever the fuck. I forget.
Bunny Girl Senpai. Roscoe does
the
not dream
Bunny
of a
Girl
Bunny Girl
anime?
Senpai.
There you go. Read that series.
Nice.
But yeah, Goblin Slayer, then Rascal, then Fast and the Furious. Since we not so me and Dev have seen Loki. King hasn't had the time or hasn't had the chance to. Me and Dev saw Suicide Squad. No, me and King saw Suicide Squad, but Dev hasn't had the chance.
No, I haven't seen Suicide Squad.
I
We've seen
Suicide
Black
Squad, yeah.
Widow.
Okay. Basically, a lot of fucking shit we haven't been able to watch, or some of us haven't been able to watch. Dev does not give a single fuck about Black Widow though, and me and King saw it, so we're gonna talk about Black Widow now. Hope you enjoy our conversation. King, do you want to start off? Just give it like a little recap of what it is. And
Yeah, so for those who are not familiar, I don't know how there are still people like you, but apparently there are. Black Widow takes place between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. Basically involves Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, going back to Russia to deal with the program that turned her into the Black Widow. She wasn't the only one. There were a fuck of a lot of them. She was in there as a kid, got out, thought she ended it, hadn't, so now she really has to end it, and simultaneously dealing with the Taskmaster, who, in a very interesting twist, actually turns out to be somebody you've heard of, but don't really know of, per se. So, yeah, that's the gist of it. Obviously, everybody who has seen Endgame knows that she's dead at the end of Endgame, so some people
this takes place before Endgame. I thought all the new shit was taking place after.
No,
this takes place after. Yeah.
This takes place between Civil War and Infinity War.
So did they just forget to release it, or
They couldn't because of COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I thought they just decided to say fuck the fucking release order, but okay.
No, like because there were no Marvel movies or any Marvel, media released last year whatsoever. So as a result, Black Widow, Eternals that were going to come out last year, they're coming out this year. What?
Doctor Strange was supposed to come out late last year.
No, I don't believe it was. I believe that was supposed to be like late this year. And then they shifted it to like early 2023, I want to say.
No, I think no,
now maybe.
No, because the two Marvel shows that were released were supposed to come out last year.
Right, they were, but like they didn't because of COVID.
No, yeah, that's why WandaVision and Doctor Strange were originally
Doctor Strange.
Oh, give me a second.
You want to rephrase that?
No, I'm talking about Doctor Strange was gonna come out after the WandaVision movie.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and WandaVision was supposed to come out in 2020.
Yeah. But it wasn't gonna come out like immediately after WandaVision. There was gonna be a buffering time.
No, wait, this doesn't make sense because when was Endgame? 2019.
2019 April. I remember that day because
I thought all the new stuff is all going to be after the Endgame events because that's what everything else has been. So did they
most of it is except for Black Widow.
So did they just forget to release Black Widow in like 2017?
No, they were no. See, okay, the thing with Black Widow is, and this will also tie into like why some people aren't totally on board with it. There's always been an idea of like, let's have a Black Widow movie. People like Black Widow, blah blah blah. But there was like your question of like marketing, like would particularly boys, would they be interested in a Black Widow action figure? The answer actually being yes, obviously. But Disney at their let's just say there were some sexist dipshits who didn't think that would happen. So they were like, "Oh yeah, we're not going to do it." Because here's the thing: they make more money off of like toys and merchandise than they do off of box office. So like, well, it's not going to be a great marketing thing for toys because boys won't buy it. So we're not going to make a Black Widow movie in like 2014 when it would have been more appropriate.
Okay, I
But
see.
over
All right.
time, like the Marvel property kept on getting more popular and more popular, and then people were like, we want a Black Widow movie, we want a Black Widow movie, and then finally they were like, okay, we're going to do a Black Widow movie, and it's going to be released in May of 2020. Then obviously COVID happened, so they couldn't. And I will also add, by the time they announced that they're going to do a Black Widow movie, Civil War had already come out, so they couldn't really they couldn't do
Work on
much with
Yeah.
that.
So that just to recap for you, when Marvel started, they, like King said, there was a lot of sexist assholes, and Feige didn't have as much influence on the studio. He still had his influence, but not as much. But once he started making those $1 billion movies every now and then, it he was like, all right, we're making a Black Widow movie. Give me a
Yeah, I can hear him. Oh. Okay. Well, guys, everyone else decided to dip and fix the Discord, but I could hear him, so I don't know what was going on. Oh, they're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, we're good. We're good now. Audio technical
Yeah.
issues done. So, like I was saying, Feige was trying to make a Black Widow movie happen, but a lot of people in Disney didn't want it, if I remember correctly. And then eventually he started releasing banger after banger with those $1 billion box office. And they're like, yeah, sure, fine, we'll release it, whatever. Because they saw the success of Captain Marvel, and they were like, okay, we could release a Black Widow movie and it'll be successful. And that's what they did. But see, they fucked up because they should have released it right away. Like King said, it would have made more money, but it didn't. And while King works out his audios, Dav, did you hear about the lawsuit that Scarlett Johansson has against Disney?
Yeah, I haven't looked into it, but I have heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another fucking mess that Disney's in right now. And I mean, she and Feige kind of teased that she would come back, right? Or they had teased it. This kind of confirms that she's not coming back at all ever, because
Understandable.
yeah, they all over $50 million,
Jesus,
which is
that's a lot.
no, it is a lot, but for Disney and Marvel, it really isn't.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, I mean, for a person, that's a lot.
yeah, for a normal person, that's a fucking lot, right? Yeah, but for like Disney, all they had to do was literally pay her $30 million more, and it'd be over with. But they're like, nah, we're not paying you. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. King, are you back? Can you hear us? Well, you're on mute, so no, you can't.
I'll let you guys get back to the actual.
He's not even talking, so you're good.
Come on, King. Shake my head.
Are you? I guess we'll cut the. No, we shouldn't cut the podcast. If King doesn't get back in, we could simply talk about Suicide Squad. We'll just have him edit this section out. There was Black Widow did tie into
It looks like my computer was having a bit of an issue.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We were just talking about the lawsuit between Disney and Scarlett Johansson.
Sure.
And how it's kind of a shit show because
Yeah,
that basically confirms she's never coming back, even though she and Feige had originally teased that she might be back.
yeah. Well, to be fair, they also teased that Robert Downey Jr. would be in this movie, and spoilers.
He's not.
Yeah,
I don't like Robert Downey Jr.
I
Um,
love the guy, but like I wasn't really surprised that he's not. I always thought that was probably just a thing they were doing to get people potentially interested.
fair,
For the
fair.
record, people, anybody can edit IMDb, so don't believe it when you see it.
Yep. King. So, what did you think of the movie overall?
I mean, I do like the movie overall, but I see it more as like a good Marvel movie that would have been better suited for Phase 2. And when you release it at this point, after not having a Marvel movie in over 2 years, it just feels like they're throwing you a bone. And it's like for some people, that's what they wanted. Like they wanted a taste of Marvel, and a lot of people, women in particular, but I'm sure a lot of guys also wanted some Black Widow because as one of the OG Avengers and as like a generally cool character, they wanted that, get a little more info on her. But the movie also just kind of feels like it's a little too late, too little too late. I do like the action; it's very good, and like I said, the reveal of Taskmaster I thought was like one of the best twists we've had in a Marvel movie in quite a while.
Seriously?
So I mean, yeah, because I didn't see that shit coming.
Well, hold on. We'll talk about that after. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Continue.
no, like there are definitely elements of the movie that I like, but like ultimately, I feel like it's probably going to be a pretty
Okay.
forgettable
And
movie.
okay. And out of 10, what would you give the movie?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd call it like a solid 7.
Okay. I see you. Sorry, I was eating ice cream. So
Yeah.
I do agree with you. It is a fun movie, but it does not feel like a Phase 4 movie,
Mm,
right? the It does introduce new characters, which I'm happy to see, and I'm happy to hear that they are in negotiation or they do have contracts to renew their work. And as the post credit showed, one of them might be appearing in Hawkeye. But
yep,
it
I
did,
think that's the plan.
but it did not feel like a Phase 4 movie. It just felt like your run of the mill Iron Man 2 type movie, where it's like, well, not Iron Man 2, but more like a
Like a Phase 2 movie.
yeah, like a Phase 2 movie. Yeah, there you go. That's better put it. Um, I like that it was somewhat scaled down from like saving the world, even though it was kind of saving the world. In terms of the plot twist you talk about, we actually have very differing opinions. It For me, it was super obvious within the first 5 minutes of the character being introduced. But other than that, I love the characters or her quote unquote family, and I just loved the interactions they had, and I liked that it was just her. Right, there was no other Avengers, there was no other nothing. It was just her. So yeah, and out of 10, I would agree with you. Maybe a 7.5. I'd go a little higher, maybe like a 7.5, 7. Yeah, 7.5 or
Mm-hmm.
7. But yeah, now let's talk about the twist because that's one where people are very divided on the character in general, but also I don't know if it's a
Sure.
twist or the character. Now, what did you think of Taskmaster in general? Not the twist, but the character in general. What were your thoughts on her?
Like to me, Taskmaster has got to be one of those villains who's just like a faceless shadow, and that's kind of what he is. Like he literally shadows other Avengers by using the fighting styles of Captain America or Black Panther or whoever. So on that front, I thought it did a fine job. So I don't feel like there's a whole lot to necessarily talk about in that regard. I think it's just a villain that does a serviceable kind of job, but he's not going to be like really memorable in the way Thanos is really memorable, and he doesn't have like they don't have amazing motivation the way that like Vulture did, for example.
Okay, yeah. In terms of Marvel Cinematic Universe villains, or at least solo movies, would you consider them one of the better villains or one of the subpar villains? What would you consider them?
No, I'd say they're pretty adequate. I'd put them on par with like Obadiah Stane from the first Iron Man movie in that it's like a good job that's like pretty serviceable,
Mhm.
but it's not like it's if it stands out, it's because there's a particular thing that stands out. Like with Obadiah Stane, everybody will remember that line about like
He
screaming about
built
Tony
this
Stark in the
in the
cave
cave with a rock.
box. Yeah, with a box of scraps. Yeah, or like or that one scene in the house with the pizza. Like
Yeah.
that's just the kind of stuff you'll remember about him. And with this case, you'll remember it because of what Taskmaster does with the copying the fighting styles of Spider-Man or whoever else. And I think that's okay because that's also just kind of the character. But like
Okay.
in terms of that, like I'd put it on that par, like not bad, not great, but at the same time, like are you going for bad or great necessarily? Like you need that obviously for like a a
Yeah.
big movie like a Thanos kind of thing or Hela from Thor
Sure.
Ragnarok. But with this one, it's not there, but you don't really need that either.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, I would agree with you that they did a serviceable job. They obviously weren't the main villain, but they were
Mm.
basically villain 1B.
They were the main antagonist. I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. But because a lot of people are divided because I feel like a lot of people expect it to be a carve-in copy from the comics.
Or
And
that
what
it'd be a man.
yeah, or yeah, there is some people that are mad because it's a woman.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
Um
yeah, spoilers, folks.
but no, yeah, I feel like if they're in the MCU, they should know already that Marvel's cinematic universe is not accurate to the comics. Just and I've ranted about this enough. Just look at Spider-Man and how he's
Yeah.
portrayed in MCU versus how he's portrayed in the actual comics. So it's
Now
like
there's certainly criticisms one can make about deviating too far from the comics, and I think there are legitimate criticisms to be made. But with the case of like this, where it's like it's gender swapped, it's like look, I get in some cases that's a bad idea because like if the villain's motivations or whatever are partially based on their gender, then yeah, don't do that because that would be stupid. But like the whole idea of Taskmaster is also that it's a faceless villain in a damn suit. Anybody could do this, and that's kind of the idea. Anybody could do this. Anybody could be a Black Widow theoretically. I mean, not exactly, but you get where I'm coming from.
no, yeah, I get you. No, yeah, and you make a good point. It's like if unless the identifying feature is significant to the character, then a change doesn't really matter. Like, and we're kind of slightly going on a tangent. I'm sorry, people, but like with
Yeah.
with MJ from the MCU, so many people were mad when Zendaya was first cast because
Hmm.
because they were like, oh, she's not white. But realistically, the only thing that's significant about MJ in the comics is her fucking hair. Other than
Well,
that,
I would also add that like I don't think that's necessarily like I agree that it's like a fair like okay the thing I agree like the red hair is very important to the character and I'll be real like if the woman is not white it doesn't really stand out that much but the thing is Zendaya is not playing Mary Jane Watson she's playing a character named like Michelle Jones or whatever who is
mm-hmm,
still nicknamed MJ but it's not intended to be the Mary Jane Watson that people grew up with as Kirsten Dunst which is
no,
like
yeah, yeah,
fair enough like if you that's what you're thinking of like yeah she's not that, but they're not trying to make her that. They just gave her a
yeah.
similar nickname, but it's not. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's a pretty silly criticism. Like if they'd called her Mary Jane Watson and cast Zendaya, like I would in that case I would say like you know what, yeah, that's a bad decision, but like that's not what they did.
No, yeah. And but you already know how some people are, and then like, and then
Yeah, yeah.
so because I remember reading when Zendaya was first cast, and they're like, oh, she's Tom Holland's love interest. People were like,
Hmm.
oh, she's not.
She isn't
She's
even really though in that movie because
yeah,
like
yeah,
she's just not. He's into that other girl, the biracial one,
this is
Liz
what
something.
this is what I thought. This is another issue with the fucking movies. I mean, I'm fully expecting a third love interest for Tom Holland Spider Man at the end of No Way Home because the first one was that one girl who was Vulture's daughter, and the second one it was Michelle, aka MJ, and then it's like you guys just Stick it.
To be fair, I get what you're saying, but like to be fair, I do think the reason they had it as like two different characters is because I think they always intended the Michelle Jones Zendaya character to be the eventual love interest. They
Mm-hmm.
had the Liz Allen character as like a decoy, so to speak, and the reason they used her as a decoy is because they've already used Mary Jane Watson in the first in the Tobey Maguire movies, and they've had two versions of Gwen Stacy. The one who was in the Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, and the version that was played by Emma Stone in the Andrew Garfield movies. So if they had used that same character again, people would have found it really repetitive.
They could have
So
used
that's why they did that.
they could have used
But
Betty
how?
Grant, or they could have just kept it no love interest.
Okay, but the thing with Betty Brant is she did appear in the Tobey Maguire movies as the secretary. So I don't think they would have necessarily liked that in the first movie, and I think that's why they
Yeah,
only brought her in the second movie to be Ned's girlfriend, because now you've got a better degree of separation between the Maguire movies and the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies.
yeah. But okay, I agree. I agree. But all right, back to Black Widow because I know we tangent a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so you said you liked the twist. Um,
yeah.
what about what about the twist? What about how did it play out for you? Like,
I mean, for me, like I think part of it was also because like based on the trailer and also what I know of the character in the comics, I was expecting it to be a man, and I didn't see anything like in the look of the character that was like, oh, this could be like a woman. No, this just looked like a average, maybe a little short, maybe, but for a dude, like whatever. I was just kind of expecting it to be a man, and then it's that woman and the Dracov's daughter character. She was referenced in the first Avengers movie by Loki,
Mhm.
talking about her being like somebody in Natasha's past. Presumably that he didn't say it outright, but like something Natasha did hurt her, presumably killed her. So I didn't really, and like that we saw that happen in the beginning of the movie. I'm like, okay, that's probably what Loki was talking about. And then she felt guilty. And it's like, oh no, she actually fucking survived. And this happens after Avengers, the first one, obviously. So then it's like, okay, well, obviously Loki wouldn't have known about that. Clint Barton wouldn't have known about that. So I don't know. I thought that was actually pretty well tied together.
Okay, because so how do I word it? When when they were introduced, the when the
The
when
program.
Tas yeah no when Taskmaster was introduced when she was fighting Black Widow, remember because she had that serum or whatever, and
Hmm.
she had it in the car. The moment Taskmaster did that Black Widow pose, I felt like that telegraphed that character was like a Black Widow.
Hmm.
You didn't see that? You didn't see that coming, or
I mean,
like you didn't?
I did recognize it, but I also just thought it could be a coincidence. Like, Taskmaster's whole thing is copying people's fighting styles.
Okay, yeah, because for me, I saw that and I was like, all right, that's Black Widow's pose, and then what like further sold it for me was her Widow's sister when she was like, "Why do you do that pose?" That's whatever she called the pose, and then she
Hmm.
imitates it. I was like, "Oh wait, that is a fucking Black Widow thing." So I wish there was more to the twist because
Hmm.
I felt like Taskmaster could have been very well done or better done, if you will. I liked how they did what they did with them, but I feel like yeah, you could have made it Dracov's daughter, but maybe like trained under the actual Taskmaster, or maybe
I like the OG guy, like
like
from
the
the
OG.
comics, and had him as a character, and this is technically the second version.
Yeah, where it's like you could handle the Black Widows because you're basically one of them, and I'll just stay in the shadows. I just
Okay,
didn't.
yeah, I guess that could have been interesting in its own way.
I, yeah. I felt like they could have done that, but they didn't, and I understand why they didn't because majority of the movies just focused on Widow, and I feel like if they would have introduced a character of that size from the comics, I feel like it would take away from Widow and and her story. But one of the twists that I did not see coming was that she couldn't kill Dracov because of the what's it called?
Pheromones.
Pheromones, yeah.
Pheromones.
Pheromones,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. No, I would say that's like I didn't see that one coming either. But at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, he's a villain who controlled all these people. Like usually there does exist some kind of similar trope. I mean, in the Hunger Games, you can't rebel against the guys who started the Hunger Games because they inject their tracking chips into you and they can explode you from inside out at any minute. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess the trope was already in place for me to kind of expect something similar, though I didn't obviously perceive that it would be that particular thing.
All right. All right. Is there any other plot point you want to talk about or character?
Not in the main part of the movie, but would you want to talk about the post-credit scene?
Yes. Let's talk about the post credits. So
So, for those who don't know, we'll describe it briefly and we'll just talk about what we think and what we expect. It involves the character Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. This was actually supposed to be her initial appearance, and obviously it wasn't because the show got released first and the movie got delayed and delayed and delayed endlessly. So what happens here is like she's the handler for the new Black Widow character, the blonde one, and um, basically gives her the mission like this is the person who killed your sister, and you go take him out, and she reveals like yeah the person who killed her is Clint Barton, Hawkeye. So the idea is that this will lead into the Hawkeye TV series where he's training his daughter and stuff, and yeah, that's basically what the initial premise is. Presumably, there's going to be a lot more later, but we can talk about that.
yeah, I'm interested. I loved the character of Yelena.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like obviously she's replacing Black Widow,
Yeah.
but she's different enough. At least the MCU in the MCU, she's different enough where it's like, okay, you're not just a copy or version 1.5 of Black Widow. You got your own traits and your own feel and look to how you are. So I really liked her. So I'm excited to see that she's coming back in the Hawkeye series. But I'm also interested to see the team that I'm not gonna try to pronounce her name because you pronounced it beautifully. The female Fury. I'm gonna call her female Fury. That she's producing because she's got the U.S. agent.
Mm-hmm.
She now has Yelena. She has she has our boy with the purple mask. What's his name? Mm, fuck, what's his name? Uh, do you remember his name?
Whose name?
The guy with the purple mask in Cold and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, the Baron.
Yeah. She's got three
Oh,
of them already. She's got
is he
Baron.
working for her?
He was sent to the raft, and she's in charge of the raft.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but I don't feel like he'd work for her in the same
I don't.
context.
I feel like he'd be like, "You're just a means to an end." Once I escape,
It would be like I don't know if have you seen Justice League?
yes,
Yeah, it'd be like think of her as in season 3, like or season 3 of Justice League Unlimited. She's Grodd and he's Luthor.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
the dynamic I would expect if they were to work together.
yeah.
Not
I
saying
could.
it's not saying it's necessarily the same outcome because she seems competent on her own, but it would be like something similar to that. There would be a power struggle there, whereas with like yeah, with the U.S. agent John Walker and Yelena, but honestly I think Yelena would betray her. At this point, my theory for the Hawkeye series initially would be that like it starts off with her being antagonistic towards Clint or whatever, but through some way or whatever, she finds out the truth about what happened on Vormir, and she like forgives him or whatever. But yeah, and then they team up to solve the main issue or whatever, and then at some point or another, she'll sever her connection with Valentina.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Our podcast is reaching its end. I will just
Yeah.
leave it with Red Guardian was amazing. David Harbour killed it. He was a funny motherfucker in the fucking movie. And yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
just
whole
leave it
cast
at
did a good job. So yeah,
yeah. The
in
whole
that
yeah.
regard, I've never. It's really rare to be disappointed by a Marvel movie.
True. All right, guys. King, your famous
Dav, you
outro.
still there? Yeah, I just want
Yep,
to check if
I'm here.
Dav is still there. Okay, yeah, no, we just wanted to make sure. So again, everybody, thank you very much for listening to our podcast. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this. It's been a couple of weeks, obviously, but we come back week after week just to talk about new stuff, about Fairy Tale, Eden Zero, or whatever else might be the topic of the day. The next time around, we're going to do the same thing, have a new topic of the day. And if you guys have any topics you want us to discuss, feel free to ping Spider-Man in one of the Discord channels and he'll take a note and we'll discuss them if we've all had a chance. Obviously, it's tough because depending on where you live, movie theaters they may or may not be open. You may or may not have time, but somewhere along the line, we'll find something because we enjoy these conversations. Like I enjoy hearing Spider-Man's thoughts about these things. I enjoy hearing Dav's thoughts about these things. So it's just a good time for everybody, especially because in a lot of cases we are still very much at home. What else do you really have to do, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a good venture. So yeah, again, we hope you guys will stay safe. Listen to this podcast, give it a thumbs up, give it a like on YouTube, leave a comment or whatever. And if you have anything else, just you can always DM us or whatever. Uh, Dav and Spider-Man, you guys got anything to say?
Nope. I'm good.
No, I'm good. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We'll do more of these, like King said. Shoot us a topic. We like the topic. We talk about it. You'll get a roll. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thank you again for listening. We hope you all have a great day. And until then, take care.
Bye, guys.
See ya.